What's happening? I don't know why I said that. That's not my intro. But what's going on, everyone? I have a tomato today, so you'll hear some ASMR a little bit, but I promise won't be the entire episode. Remember, you can unsubscribe if you don't like tomatoes. Because I understand maybe it's a bit weird. But I think it's time to watch more MLP. So let us get to that. After you subscribe, Patreon, blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's get into it. My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, Season 6, Episode 21. Every little thing she does. I would think this is about the baby, right?
I've prepared a full day of spells. You've been doing great, but now it's time for a real challenge.
Starlight
Oh, it
and
is
Twilight.
on.
I like their
When
bond.
we begin. Teleportation. Multiple locations. Try to keep up.
The forest. Underwater.
Transfiguration.
Alright. Remember, she is super powerful. She needs to fine-tune things and not do them evilly.
Shields.
Oh, you had that Steven Universe shield. Oh, dang. Could this be in a future battle? No, you messed up the library. Yeah.
I am on fire. What's next? Maybe there is such a thing as too much studying.
Twilight saying too much studying? What?
As you know, speed spells like Accelero are not easy. But if done correctly, they can allow you to be much more efficient with your day.
Way to go, Starlight!
Nice.
Oh, I'm not finished. I've discovered a very old spell, Similo-Duplexis. When combined
Similo.
with Accelero in just the right way,
Dang. She's an aficionado.
you can
Oh
literally
no.
be in two places at once.
We don't need duplicates again. But I think I just temporarily.
Now, I'm finished.
I'm very impressed. Any friendship lessons since you met Trixie?
Are you sure? We're a couple in there somewhere.
Sunburst. Do we count that?
I'm sure.
I see.
But yeah, so
Well,
she's
I've really
ignored that
been
aspect.
Quite busy this week. So many commitments.
History of enchanted objects in Equestria.
Okay.
We'll be back at
20 moons from now?
tonight. It's a quick presentation. You can tackle a friendship lesson today, and we can review your progress when I get back later this evening.
Okay.
Of course, no problem. Friendship lesson.
So you've been ignoring
On
it.
it.
Wait,
Great! Can't wait.
I don't like how
Now, Spike,
like they didn't mention the
help me
whole
color those
sunburst
cards
thing.
according to time,
Sunburst
place,
was
and
such a
object.
huge thing for her. It's probably going through it. That position on the bed.
Yeah.
Toot, toot, toot.
Hey, Twilight and I are about to head to Candlelight. Just checking to see if you need anything before we left.
Nope, not at all. I'm good here. Oh, not good. Great. Not a problem in the world.
Uh-huh. So, what are you doing exactly?
I was just trying to decide which friendship lesson I was going to tackle while you two were in Canterlot.
Okay.
Oh, yep, right here, where I just left them a second ago.
Bake a cake with Pinkie Pie,
Oh.
scrapbook with Applejack, sew with Rarity,
Not bad.
help an animal with Fluttershy, chillax with Rainbow Dash? What is chillaxing?
No idea.
No, if you're nervous about your friendship lessons, it's totally okay to say so.
Nervous? Me? Oh, Spike, you really are hilarious. You think I'm nervous that I'm gonna fail something as simple as baking a cake?
Yes.
Well, if you were, it'd be...
Silly. Twilight just said how impressed she was that I combined a speed spell and a duplication spell.
Yes,
That
but
was a challenge.
that's not really your purpose here, right?
I can combine
It's
all
about
5 of these at the
being
same time without breaking a sweat.
better at
I
friendship.
think maybe you're
Socialize.
missing.
An opportunity to really impress Twilight? Great idea, Spike! I'm gonna get right on that. Good talk.
And I thought Twilight was a master of the freak out.
So, with your help, I figure these should be done in no time.
Are you sure this is what Twilight would want? Seems like you might want to take your time with each of these.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
by
Applejack.
working as a team, we can get them done faster. And isn't teamwork a key factor in friendship?
I guess.
Can be.
Super! Pinkie Pie! Since we're baking,
Super.
you will be in the kitchen. Rarity, Applejack, you two can set up in the library.
Oh, I don't know that the dusty old library has the proper lighting. Perhaps we can stay out here in the foyer.
I thought that Fluttershy and I could work with the animals right here in the foyer.
Oh, whatever you think is best.
Great! Now, Rainbow Dash.
But it might depend on the animal. For instance, this poor little eagle with a sprained wing might be better off up in one of the towers.
Yeah, sure.
And these adorable chipmunks might prefer a nook somewhere. Maybe if you spend some time getting to know...
In a minute, Fluttershy.
I
Don't
know if
rush,
we can
Fluttershy.
chillax properly in the castle. We
Rude.
need very specific conditions for optimal chillaxing.
Oh, I just assumed chillaxing could happen anywhere.
Shows what you know about chillaxing. Let me do some.
Oh,
looking
it's like,
instead.
okay.
Okay. It seemed more efficient to start with the scrapbooking, so we could just get it out of the...
Can we start with me? We're gonna need time for the cake to bake. After all, it's a piece of cake to bake up.
Yeah, see, so she still sees it as like an objective.
No time for a
Schedule,
song. We
time.
could start with baking.
But when you're
then-
spending time with
Design
people,
dresses after you've been baking with Pinkie.
it's not how
She can be a bit messy.
things go. You just don't do that.
Mm.
Yeah, and she's just trying to mix
Start
everything
with the
together,
dresses, and
get it
then
all
Y'all
done
figure that
quicker.
out. I'm gonna start laying out the pictures for scrap.
That's how you do it.
We got a whole lot of time to cover.
How much is a whole lot?
We've got at least 80 moons worth of memories to go through.
80 moons?
There is nowhere to chillax in this castle. We're gonna have to set up somewhere else.
Could you all excuse me for 1 second?
Wow, that pony really needs to chillax.
Okay, Starlight.
Panic attack.
You've got this. A handful of friendship lessons is nothing compared to the spells you've mastered. Maybe if I cast a little spell to help things along. Something simple and safe. Fiducia Compellus? That's not bad. They would barely notice it, but is it enough? Oh, maybe Cogeria, so they're more open to suggestion. Or
Yeah,
maybe
see, she sees everything as like a
Cogeria
spell.
combined with Fiducia Compellus. Yes, that could work nicely. Oh,
I'm not gonna lie.
hint of Persuadere to be sure it sticks.
I felt this episode it feels a bit misplaced.
Every pony will probably thank me for getting it all done so quickly.
I say that
Twilight will be thrilled
because
I've completed so
I felt
many
after
lessons.
Sunburst, maybe she
Every
should
pony
have
wins.
developed more of, I don't know.
Congratulations, Starlight.
And
You're
she's
a
still going
genius.
for quick fixes and it completely devoids of what friendship is.
Maybe the congratulations were a little premature.
I'm not saying that like that season premiere was a bad one, but it seems like this episode might kind of devoid of the whole Sunburst thing.
Of course. Fiducia Compellus needs a trigger. Pony, hear my voice and listen! Pinkie, kitchen. Rarity, Applejack, library. Fluttershy, stay here. Rainbow Dash, find somewhere inside the castle and set up a place where we can chillax.
Oh my god.
Let's get to work, Pinkie.
Okie dokie. What would you like to do
The
first?
small pupils is really freaking
what
me
are
out.
we supposed to do first?
Whatever you want to do first, Starlight Glimmer.
In a medium-sized mixing bowl, beat together eggs, sugar, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Mix in flour.
What happens if you mess up?
Add baking soda, salt, and cinnamon. Huh. I think you can take it from here.
Take what from where?
Nope.
The baking. Just keep following the instructions in the book until I get back.
Absolutely. Instruction following starting now.
Yeah, I am.
Baking a cake?
I'm not a
Check.
fan of
Now
Starlight
I'm
this
sewing.
episode, but I just feel it's more like I
What
feel
did you
she
have in
did
mind,
grow a
Mary?
lot with Trixie
Whatever
and
you want
with
me to have in my mind,
Sunburst,
Starlight
but
Glimmer.
it's not really showing.
Can you make a dress exactly like that one?
Just like this one?
Just like it.
Absolutely. It will look perfectly divine.
What? It sounds so off. Like the roboticness
That's a
of
whole
it
lot
all.
of photos. How do you usually organize them?
However you want me to organize them, Starlight.
Okay, tell me about this one.
Sweet Apple Acres, 20 moons ago. Granny Smith was looking for her favorite pie tin. She looked in the kitchen, but it wasn't there. She looked in the barn, but it wasn't there.
I don't need every little detail. Just sum up the story in one sentence.
Huh. Well, turns out Granny Smith didn't know how to make a pig do the backstroke.
Huh. Why don't you keep putting these photos in chronological order, and when I come back, you can give me more highlights.
Sure thing, Starlight Glimmer.
Starlight Glimmer.
Fluttershy,
Yeah,
where
the
are
eyes
the
are freaking me
animals?
out.
They ran away
And why? You stopped them?
because you didn't ask me to.
Obviously, I wanted you to... Never mind.
There's no better
Can
spell.
you please round up all the animals in the castle and bring them back here to the foyer?
All the animals. Got it.
Oh, this is so
Did you find a
unnerving.
place to chillax, Rainbow Dash?
Chillax?
Sure thing, Starlight Glimmer.
Great. Let me know when it's ready.
Yes, Starlight Glimmer.
Granny Smith knew she was gonna need a bigger boat. So Goldie Delicious says, if you can't say anything nice about Annie Pony, come sit by me. Big Mac knew if he just covered himself in mud, the creature wouldn't be able to see him.
Oh, what creature?
Starlight Glimmer.
Starlight Glimmer.
I have finished the dress. Isn't it gorgeous?
I have finished.
What
the
is
dress.
that?
You wanted me to make a dress exactly like the one in the book.
Go make a real dress out of fabric, exactly like the one in the book.
Huh, I see. Yes, of course, Starlight Glimmer.
Rarity, make it bigger than the one in the book.
Of
Yeah,
course,
they gotta be
darling.
very
Bigger it is.
mega ultra clear.
She was just a pony standing in front of another pony, asking him to love her.
Pinky, what did you do?
Pinky, what are you doing?
Following all of the instructions in the cookbook in order, Starlight Glimmer.
I meant just the one cake. I was only gone a few minutes.
Nope.
How in a quest
You gotta be
did I
very
get all
clear,
of this done
especially
so
since
fast?
they're this
First, I combine 3 eggs
pedantic.
and ice.
Think the baking lesson is done. Oh, what now?
The animals are gathered up.
They can take our farm, but they can't take our freedom.
What's going on?
I've gathered all of the animals that you asked, Starlight Glimmer. Oh yes, this will do nicely.
Yeah, this is why.
Much bigger dress.
It was the best of apples, it was the worst of apples.
I can handle this.
Oh
It's just magic.
god, this is
I know magic.
gone to ish.
What's that?
What did you say? The cakes are burning. You left the ovens on.
We need water!
Yes, Starlight Glimmer.
She's gonna flood the castle.
Storm clouds.
This has gone as bad as it can go.
Big Mac told me with a whole lot of power comes a heck of a lot of responsibility.
Ugh, this can't get any worse.
They're back, so yes, it can.
What is going on?
we had spiders in the castle.
I'm never sleeping again.
Maybe if I had reversed the Fiducia Compellus and Cogeria. Or maybe I added too much Persuadere. What?
You're really missing the point here.
I finally untangled that mess of a spell and got every pony home. It was really powerful stuff. They're gonna feel that in the morning. Now please try to explain to me how in the name of Celestia things got this out of control.
Well, it was the first time I cast that particular spell, and I didn't fully think it through.
Yeah, you
I bet
didn't.
if I had reversed...
I think you might be missing the point here.
Told ya.
What made you think that casting a spell on your friends to do your bidding was even remotely a good idea?
Well, when you put it that way, it sounds really bad.
That's because it is really bad!
But...
Starlight, I'm not mad at you, but I am disappointed. You've been doing so well. I just don't understand how a friendship lesson turned into all of this.
Oh yeah, she doesn't want to tackle that stuff.
Fine. I've been avoiding the friendship lessons on purpose.
Why?
I can cast complex spells, but baking a cake with Pinkie Pie freaks me out. And yes, I know how ridiculous that sounds. That's why I didn't say anything. I thought if I just kept wowing you with my magical abilities, you might just not notice.
Baking a cake freaks you out?
Yes.
Well, it's more the pressure.
Baking a cake, sewing, all of it. What if I was bad at it?
It's
I
okay.
didn't want to be a disappointment to any pony, and I ended up being a disappointment to every pony.
Starlight, do you think any pony cares if you can bake a cake?
But the lesson...
Was to get to know Pinkie Pie better by doing something she loves. It was a friendship lesson, not a baking lesson.
Oh.
Yeah, she's...
You know, I think I might have missed the point here.
Yeah,
Told ya.
So now what?
completely.
Now it's time for a pretty advanced friendship lesson. It's called apologizing.
I don't know what kind of whammy Starlight put on us, but I feel like I got shoved through the super speedy cider squeezy 6000.
Tell me about it. If every pony could speak in a whisper for the next few days, it would be delightful. My head is thumping. I was up all night calming the animals down. Fluttershy, please. Not so loud.
That's Fluttershy talking.
I never burn cake.
Dang.
Yeah,
Pinky's so
about
upset.
that. Things got a little out of hand last night.
Well, ain't that the understatement of the day?
Yes.
Tell it to the cake, sister. Can we all please argue at a lower volume?
I really messed up. I cast the spell because I was nervous about working with you on the friendship lessons.
Well, here's a friendship lesson for you. Don't cast spells on your friends!
Believe me, I know. What I did was wrong, and I can't take it back. You're right to be upset, and I hope one day I can make it up to you. But all I can say is, I'm sorry. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got to go clean a castle covered in wet cake batter and spiders.
That was a pretty good apology. Seems like she feels really bad.
It was pretty good.
Hey, Starlight! Most of the Apple family photos are still laying around in the wreckage. I think I'll come along and hunt them down.
Oh, and I feel awful for disturbing all of those cute little spiders and bats. I should check on them. Ah, yes. And I left some lovely fabric out. I should come and move it to that nice, quiet library. I'll come and get those storm clouds out of the bathroom. Fine! Some pony has to bake a cake to honor all the poor cakes that sacrificed their batter
Of
in
course,
last
Piggy.
night's tragedy.
This is in the back marked not very good. Okay, yeah, it's probably an area they don't visit ever. That's crazy too. Fluttershy's very nice with oh, she's so mad. Oh, that's cute. Oh, Pinky was mad though. Crazy.
It seems your apology went well.
I'm just lucky to have such understanding friends. But it's probably gonna be a while before I try to tackle those friendship lessons again.
What do you mean? You've been doing them all day.
What are you talking about? I've been cleaning up the mess I made by totally failing at friendship.
Really? But didn't I see you sewing with Rarity?
Yes, but
And you and Applejack did a great job collecting those photos and putting them in the book. Helping animals with Fluttershy, baking with Pinkie Pie. Those sound like your assignments to me. In fact, I think there's just one that you're missing.
sun, check. Chairs, check. And thanks to a simple Caterpillar
Just chillax.
Levitata spell, we've got water. Is that everything we need to chillax?
Nope.
No. What did I miss?
Quiet.
Oh, right.
Great job, Starlight. Looks like you've completed another friendship lesson. Hey! She completes the lesson when I say she completes it. So less learning and more chillaxing.
So, how long do we sit quietly?
Just chill. Alright. This episode in the beginning, I wasn't the biggest fan of it because I felt it devoided completely of Starlight's growth. As in the first episode was Sunburst, that was a big step. And then her first friend was Trixie. And I feel they kind of forgot about that here. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that because, yeah, to tackle your biggest trauma in life, I think that's very important. But those details aside, this episode became about how Starlight actually kind of copes with avoiding friendship. She thinks that her talent, her smarts, her spells, that's good enough to distract Twilight and everyone else of her responsibilities of friendship. And it's because she's pressured into thinking that if she does it bad, the quality of it, or if she isn't good at it, she's not talented at it, then they'll hate her, or sort of that whole loop. But that's not really what the whole point was. She completely missed the entire point of this lesson because the whole time she put spells on the other ponies so then she can get it done. But that's not what we're doing here. We're not doing things to get them done. We're not doing them to check it off a list, or we're not doing it as an objective. These are things we do with people so we can grow closer with them. So there's no pressure to be bad at something or whatever she was paranoid about. It's simply about just spending time with other people, with other friends, doing things that they enjoy, or maybe like a vice versa thing. But it's more about just the presence and the time spent with them. That's all it is. But this looks into Starlight's attitude towards everything. It's kind of like Twilight in a way. Less empathetic, but in the way that she's so strict and so stubborn about, no, it has to be a spell, it has to be logical, it has to be done, accomplished in a certain amount of time. So I actually loved how they tackled that. So I really do enjoy this episode, and I see the value in it, and it's also great that we're getting also more look into Starlight. I'm just a bit disappointed that they kind of forgot about the Sunburst thing. Like, they could have at least said something like, oh no, like, remember Sunburst? And then she would have been like, yeah, but that was so long ago. Any inclusion, I think, would have been really good here. Because I don't want that amazing moment for her to just kind of go under the radar or just be tossed aside. But maybe as Starlight was not getting the point, maybe the point that I am missing, maybe it's more about just the friendship lessons in Equestria, here in town, versus, what she kind of did on her own out there. So maybe I'm glossing over that and saying, yeah, it's actually been since episode 5, 6, since we've seen anything with friendship and with Starlight. So again, it's been basically like almost 10 episodes, half a season basically. So in that way, it does make sense. So that would eliminate a lot of my concerns with this episode from the beginning. So if we're considering that, then yes, this episode is fantastic. And it gets the message across very well. And also, it was a little bit scary to see the ponies with such small eyes and the personalities like drained. But this also shows how powerful Starlight is. That was never something in question because she literally did time travel, perfected the spell, and she can combine spells. Heck, her best friend, or one of her best friends, is also a wizard who knows those spells, or super powerful spells. So it just seems like she's always just powerful and strong and everything. But what good is that if you're not good at friendship? If you ignore it. So I'm really glad they tackled this. And it's awesome to see her because she's such a contrast to everybody else on the show. I think everyone else kind of already knows about friendship, or at least knows a lot more, and they're more empathetic. But then she's still someone who still sees it very logically and sort of like it's a bother. But again, it's because she kind of still is a little bit hung up on what friendship is, what it means, and what qualifies as it. So interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Quality episode. And a great one. Alright, guys. It's going to be it for me. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you when I see you.